Hey Sam, I'm actually making video number 2. We've got the ball rolling. In episode 1, you asked me about what my favorite hobby is. And since I've got so many hobbies, we'll just go through the list and then start breaking down which one could be my favorite. Let's start with the one that I've been doing the longest, which is photography. I started doing photography a few years ago. I had many big grand plans for it, but it mostly just moved into the hobby category of life. Photography is my hobby number 1. Hobby number 2 is archery, to do hunting. I find hunting to be more of a skill, but archery I would fit into the hobby category. I don't know if you'd call this a hobby, but I love kit, my hunting kit, my photography kit. I like collecting gear for these things, so I could hunt with way less than I have, but I like to collect the kit. So collecting kit could be considered a hobby. And then that leads us into the newest hobby, which is airsofting, and hopefully airsofting milsims, which include physical activity and being outside, and of course, kit. Which one of these hobbies are my favorite? Well, I used to be so passionate and in love with photography. I used to really pursue it. And as the years went on and I got more involved in it, I found that I became less passionate about it instead of more passionate about it. And I still do it and I still enjoy it, but that makes it a hobby. It's definitely a hobby. Archery, I really enjoy. I really enjoy my archery. I don't do it as much as I could, but I always think about doing it. I like slinging arrows and getting good tight groups on a target. I like having the control. I like the fluent motion that archery has, and it's almost like a meditative state, so I really enjoy that. Alright, kits, collecting kits. So when I get into an activity, I obsess about the items involved, the kit that you can have, the things that you can customize and put together. I literally do YouTubing and research about all the best kit and all the things that go together and what style I like. I would have to say that kit is also a good one, and I haven't really done airsoft yet. So it comes down to collecting kit and archery. The better I am at archery, the better I'll be at hunting. But collecting kit is something I like obsess about. I can't really choose which out of the two I prefer. Right now, those are my 2 favorite. Sorry, Sam, I can't give you a direct answer between archery and kit. I like those 2 things. Alright, now that we got your question kind of answered, let's roll into what I have in mind. So, I have been thinking about Breath of the Wild and Red Dead Redemption 2. They're both games, and these 2 games have a lot in common. The first thing that I like about these games, because I'm not a hardcore gamer, but I love open map or sandbox or open world games. I love just throwing the storyline to the side and doing whatever I want in a game. And in both of these games, I feel like they've nailed it. In Breath of the Wild, it's kind of this fantasy environment. It's got these lighter colors that kind of catch your attention. And in Red Dead Redemption 2, it's kind of more of a realistic yet rugged wilderness, but something you can relate to as the real world. And these games, I think, have more in common than most people know. So let's start with hunting. You can hunt in Breath of the Wild. You can shoot an animal with your bow, and it turns to meat right there on the spot. Then you can take that meat and cook it into a meal. In Red Dead Redemption, you can hunt the animals, skin it, harvest the meat, cook the meat, and then eat it as well. You can also collect clothing. They also have the fact that you can catch and collect horses. in Breath of the Wild, you can go out and catch wild horses, and it's very similar where in Breath of the Wild, you sneak up to the horse and you jump on, and it's wild and it's bucking you and you're trying to break it. Very similar in Red Dead Redemption 2, where you come and you're calling calm, you're trying to calm it and going, oh boy, and getting closer and closer to the horse, and then you jump on it, and then it's trying to buck you off, and then you break it in. In both games, you do those same things. They're totally different realities, but very similar games. For me, these are two of my favorite games because you have all that option to you to just do whatever you want. In Breath of the Wild, I feel like the storyline was very easy for me to ignore and not pursue. I wasn't as interested in the storyline. Where in Red Dead Redemption 2, the storyline really nailed it, along with the freedom of the open world map. So if I'm picking one over the other, I'm picking Red Dead Redemption. Also, the Wild West theme fits me more on a personal level than the fantasy world, although I do love Breath of the Wild. So that leads me to my question to you. Out of all the open world games that you've played, whether PC games or system games, which open world game is your favorite? That's episode number 2. And feel free to answer the question as well in the comments down below. What is your favorite open world game that you play? Just throw it on the bottom. Let us know. Thanks.
And I love you, random citizen.